who knows? Who knows? It could happen. Either way, though, we're going to talk a little bit more about the draft and our predictions after a word from our sponsors over at DPC.
Сейчас поиграем. Сейчас поиграем.
请做好开战准备。
Ну, видимо, сейчас так доту играют.
And we gave a little bit of time there for Automo to actually come up with an answer of who he does favor in this game. But before that, he might have a chance to see the level 1 fight here. NAVI, Daniel is hiding in the Roche pit. They knew he was there, and now he's going to be getting himself away with the wild axes flying through. He's going to be very happy he's not on the receiving end of that one. So Automo, give me your answer. Is it going to be NAVI taking it 2-0, or do you favor Darkside? And of course, why?
I'm gonna go with Navi 2-0. I don't think it's as favored as in the first game. I was like, first game would be like, 65% Navi. This game feels like it's more like 55% that they're gonna win. It seems like it's a small difference, but it is a big one. I don't think Navi's lanes are as powerful, and I do think that you have decent amount of like strong heroes coming out from the other from Darkside. They don't need as much farm to be effective, unlike in the previous game. So Saniko on Elder Titan is the one I'm gonna be keeping my eye on. I hope that it's gonna be a bit of tough for him, but other than that, I think it's gonna be okay for Navi. In lane stage, it won't be 4,000 advanced by 10 minutes, that's for sure. Or at least that's what I think.
One interesting fact, my country has, it seems like, become definitely a safe place for every Dota team, right? Because Darkside, you see the bootcamp that they're in. That's Novi Sad. That's a town, a city that is an hour drive from the capital of Belgrade, and they are there. So I saw the pictures on the walls. I saw the colors, but I wasn't sure, so I had to ask. But yeah, they're in Serbia as well, and also Hydra are in the same boot camp too, or in the same facilities. So it is gonna be quite fun when those two teams will be facing off against each other, because it's literally gonna be like a small LAN.
Does that make you like sort of supported with the team a little more? Like, hey, they're in my country. I hope they win. Does that affect you in any way?
I don't think so, because Hellraisers is here as well, and everyone is gonna be here in the end. In the end, we can just hold out the land here, and we won't even be anything to do the online part, because everyone is just gonna be here. So I don't think so. I don't think so.
Iberia Major coming next at least. I mean, we are seeing some of them do that. Like, we're even the DPC in South America, they're having some LAN games as well. So that's kind of cool, and they're all in one location.
Yeah, definitely. Because then after the series, you can just go together. Aha, we crushed you, huh? The old times when people used to play Dota in PC game clubs. I kind of miss those.
Oh, I love. I watched one of these like True Side thingies, and Puppy was saying that when they played TI1 against Chinese teams, they all share the same desk. So they all start smacking the desk when they start getting kills to annoy the other player, and then they start looking at the other side, so they start bringing garbage bags to cover their side of the wall, so the enemy team can't look at it. I'm like, holy crap! Well, we've come so far in the last 12 years.
Yeah, definitely. No, this game, it hasn't come too far already, because it's only 2 minutes in and we have no kills. And considering we were talking about boot camps and TI1, it just goes to show how much action we have on the map here. But looking at the CS, no surprises here. No one is coming out super far ahead. No big differences. Is there a lane that we should keep our eyes on?
I think like top lane would be the one where it's either Daniel or Saniko's gonna be losing their life fairly soon. It's like Sky made you 1-2 out of line, you have 0 armor, you get destroyed, and if Saniko, you have against like multiple slows, you got a lot of burst damage. That's also very dangerous for them. But Aldi's actually the one taking a lot of hits. Bottom lane, Shigitsu, and he gets bushwhacked, but the heals keeps him alive.
Darkside definitely starting out a little bit better in this game than in the previous one. First of all, the Zing, he didn't give off a first blood, and you can see that he's quite chill. He is keeping himself in it, even though the first game wasn't that nice of a debut for him. We're seeing that he is now doing a good job. Let's do a little bit of theory crafting about the mid lane, though, Automo, or I'm gonna let the mic go over to you. So, Sand King versus the Lesh. So far, it's even, but what do we expect even from these two to happen?
I mean, they both really want to farm, right? Maybe Sand King once he's level 6 with the epicenter, he can get a kill. If he goes out of position, he needs to be careful about the pulse node. But I think until level 6, we're not gonna see too much action for them. And he is gonna go for the arcane boots early on. Blink Dagger for Sand King. Reable will want to get the Bloodstone, and then we might see, like we'll see the impact of these. Because that's when both of them will be very online. At top lane, by the way, look at that damage.
That's a lot of damage. Dizzying, though, you know what you do? You just turn back time when you get hurt, and everything is gonna be fine. You fall off a bike, you turn back time, you don't feel any pain. That's what the Faceless Void can do. You can't really do it in real life, but he's still gonna be very low, so it's not going the greatest for dizzying. He's farming okay, but he doesn't have the resources to continue doing so.
Both the Faceless Dizzying as well as Shigitsu are Grandmasters on their hero. You know, so we're gonna be seeing the best. Oh, Shigitsu, he's taking a lot of hits himself. Yeah, he's got the Ring of Health, he's got the Io, but it does feel like he's been suffering quite a bit this way, which we said, right? It's gonna be hard for him to go up against the Hoodwink.
Yeah. So when we look at the carry matchups, you know, the Ursa and the Faceless Void, you mentioned Grandmasters. Do you have any preferences here if both of the heroes are played at their peak? Is there a hero you prefer?
At the peak, I feel like Faceless Void is pretty powerful, right? I mean, Ursa, you can burst him down if he doesn't use his ultimate in time, if he doesn't use BKB. It feels like you might have to get an Aghanim Scepter just so you can use the enrage during the cons. Like, it does seem like it's my... Oh, top lane, Suneko.
You're right, Suneko, he did go down. Malik does a lot of damage. Daniel, well, not gonna be bashed any longer. Dizzying with that Battle Fury in his right hand is not gonna be bashing enough to get the return kill. So, once again, Navi are the ones that score first blood. This time, it's gonna take them 5 minutes to do so.
Yeah, it's I thought it was gonna be like top lane. I was confident it's gonna be one of them, and it's just a tough lane for the Elder Titan. You can't go next to a Dawnbreaker. She's gonna beat your ass. It's hard to go close to this character. She's got slows and damage, so it's tough to be an Elder Titan right now.
Suneko is trying to pull Daniel to the side. Then if it's a 1 versus 1, Suneko will win. For all of those One Piece fans out there, they're gonna get the reference. Anyways, though, isn't it gonna continue top?
Did you see this? He's got Windlace instead of the Boots of Speed. Is that not his boots? Oh, it's Dizzying's boots. Okay, that's why. I was like, yes, they cooked it.
There was a tournament I casted where 33 bought double Windlace, and yeah,
yes.
In the interview he said, yeah, it's a mistake. I just doubled.
I saw that. Yeah, that was the recent Bet Boom tournament. I saw you there. You were like, what was that? Were you trying to figure? He's like, no, I just forgot. You know, it's like I didn't know I was doing that. So even pros, they make mistakes sometimes. So that made. Oh, by the way, Shigitsu is taking a bit of damage. Reebo's going for this kill though.
It's a little bit too deep, with the Bushwhack connecting and them having vision with the Hawk. It should be more than enough for Shigetsu to fall. Now he's running away, just hoping that something is gonna save his life, but nothing will. And Darkside, they do strike back. They rotate to the bottom lane, they get a kill. And with the Siege Creep, this tower is gonna be taking a lot of hits, no glyph.
Now that takes a bit of hits in the top lane, but this like gonna be too much. And that's the problem, right? Melody, he's going to go for the first time. Blink Dagger, still about 1,000 gold away from the... What's a Nico? Yeah, he takes a Starbreaker. But it's not gonna be enough.
But it's close. I mean, with him being low, he can't really help dizzying. So the gold lead between Malik and the Void is gonna continue increasing as well. So Navi continuing to do well in their off lane here, even from the previous game.
Yeah, a lot of Darkside success is coming from Reable, right? And he's got, look at the stacks he's got in the ancient stacks, and a really nice job coming out from both Darkside's the off lane, making sure they keep Reable active. So that is gonna be the win condition, and you don't have to get, if you get like a couple of man chrono, Reable is inside of the pulse nova, that's gonna be all the damage you need. You don't even need to get damage with the Faceless Void early on. Reable will do it all for you.
Yeah, but you have Earth Splitter, you have Sharpshooter. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of it to throw out. Also, the added attack speed from the Beastmaster onto the Faceless Void. And I don't feel like people inside of a chrono are gonna be living for long.
Oh, for sure, right? I mean, just saying that's like, where Reable inside Chronosphere can do so much, and he is very farmed. Hello, Jewel. still needs some time for that blink dagger. Until he gets it, he just doesn't feel like he can do too much. Maybe if someone dives, he can shove a turret around, but overall, he doesn't even get the invisible, unfortunately, for him. So it's just gonna be a very like slow game for Meliju right now.
His lane did go well. The only problem I have is that he has level 1 Burrow Strike. He's probably gonna have it like level 2 when the Blink Dagger is up, and that isn't enough to threaten really. The Burrow Strike becomes a big problem when it starts being level 3 and up. So I'm curious to see if he can get any extra experience, maybe from stacks or something along those lines. But overall, the biggest thing for me here is the Darkside are completely free to just take the tower on bot.
Oh, it does give you a little, it gives you a bit of map control, which makes it harder for him to get to the bomb, and he wants to go for the Valkyrie, so he's not interested in fighting too much. He would like that space and losing that tower. I mean, it's gonna be expected, right? It's Beastmaster, Left Strike, you're gonna be losing it fairly early, but they have to make sure that NAVI doesn't have to make sure that their side of NAVI doesn't get too warded, that they don't, Darkside isn't able to push all the way to the tier 2 and shuts the map down for them.
So Meliju, he's going to be finishing his Blink in 200 gold. They didn't leave the bottom tower to fall. Navi, they didn't want to fight it at all. Rabel continuing to farm super fast, but this Ancient stack, it is definitely going to be putting him ahead of the pack by quite a significant margin.
Nice use of Smoke of Deceit, right? So you don't have to worry about any of the damage you take. And he might run out of mana before he actually gets it. It's this is the nerf of Pulse Nova, you know, 10 damage per pop. It adds up and eventually. Meliju gets bothered by Roger, and overall, we said, right, we're not gonna see a 4,000 gold advantage in the 10 minutes mark. That's what happens. Darkside, they have the 1,000 gold advantage. It's nice, but yeah, so we're in for an even game. Graph giving it 56% in favor of Darkside. Do you agree? Do you think it's favor of Darkside? Like, by significant?
I'm a big fan of their draft. I mean, I'm a big fan of how they're drafting. So in my mind, it's just how they execute. So I would be okay with that assessment. Ursa should survive. She gets to get his ulti off a little bit too late. He's super low now. The Sword Guardian coming over. Is it gonna be enough? Definitely. It is gonna be Blizzy that loses life, and Roger, well, you're a very squishy hero. It will be going down. And I really like the positioning of Meliju, who is on the side constantly waiting for another Burrow Strike if needed.
Well played by them. I mean, they were able to turn that. But it looked like Shigitsu was going to be in trouble. Now he stays alive. He's going to be only 800 gold away from his Void Stone and finishing off the Battle Fury. So that was... Someone was like, oh man, they're going to be losing his life. This is what Navi needs to do. They cannot let Darkside push too far the bomb lane and lose that side of the map. Shigitsu goes top. Kind of enrage. He's going to go all the way to the tower. That would be really risky for him, especially without Dawnbreak ultimate available.
I think one of the downsides of this Navi lineup is really the ability to take down tier 1s. I think they need a lot of chaos on the map, and that's what they're trying to create now with the smokes.
What do you think of this about Malik going for straight up BKB on the Dawnbreaker? Nothing else. Like, he's got just, you know, phase boot, soul ring, so that's nice for his mobility, and so he can just spam out and farm with the spell. Oh, the entire. Looks like we did lose Blizzy. My bad, sorry. But yeah, straight up a BKB.
Oh, what a play there to kill the Ursa, and it just gone. The Wisp will follow suit as well. When you have no one to defend, well, you might as well just accept your destiny. What a nice play from Darkside. You know, bottom lane from Navi was a nice kill, but that move into the enemy triangle to get a couple of kills, that was just beautiful from Darkside.
That's what we're saying, right? If you're gonna be the best Faceless Void versus the best Ursa, it feels like the best Faceless Void can do just a little bit more. It's so much easier. You just land it on a couple people. I mean, I say it like it's an easy thing, but you can do that. You can just like win the fight straight up for you guys. Ursa is gonna have to time his spells very perfectly. Gonna make sure he has to farm on time. So it does feel like in the carry to carry matchup, Darkside comes out just a little bit ahead.
So we'll see how that one continues to develop overall throughout the game. Now we're 12 minutes in and it's even, and I'm so glad we're getting a game like this. The previous one, it just felt like Navi were in control from start to finish. Now it is completely different, and it's looking currently to be a even game. We'll see if that does break apart. Any big item timings that could switch it to one side or the other?
Well, I mean, Mech's still gonna take some time. We already have the Blink Dagger 4 staff coming out for Sand King, not too much. Shigesu just wants to farm. So I'm not saying anything from Navi's side that's gonna be like, oh my god, even the BKB from Malik's gonna take a bit of time. But we are very close to the Bloodstone Unreable. That is a much bigger deal than anything else coming out from Navi. Once the Electric has it, he's so much harder to bring down. I think that's the thing that you're gonna be looking for. Look at the stacks.
There's so many of them. There's so many, and the Lesh will farm those yet again. We'll see if the face is void. I don't think Dizzying does have the strength to take down the Ancient stack. He's actually struggling with a double stack here on the big camp. Imagine what those Ancients would do to him. But yeah, a lot of stacks are being made on this dark side.
I'm surprised that Malik is the one who's the most farmed on the Dawnbreaker. Usually we find Dawnbreaker sort of middle of the pack as a hero, but he is just, you know, leading for his team. Melojule, you know, you hyped up his Sand King. Obviously it's very early, but he hasn't been able to have quite the same impact as Reable so far.
To be fair, I said he plays a lot of it. Not like, oh, Melojule is the best Sand King, mid lane Sand King. The last time it worked was Ahen Esports, where DM played the mid. Right, so I remember that lineup. It was like 2.5, 3 years ago, maybe even more. Time passed by. So I haven't seen a successful mid lane Sand King. Definitely not a reoccurring one for a very long time.
All right. I mean, I just assumed if the pro player is gonna be picky, he's gonna be doing, and it is on Orthox, he's gonna be crushing it. All right. I mean, you said that he's done it before, so if it sticks to your mind, you're just either really good or really bad.
Yeah, that makes sense. Either way, 1k gold lead currently for Darkside. They're in a smoke. They're going towards the bottom lane. Blizzy, he doesn't want to be bullied on the bottom lane any longer, and finally he has gotten a little bit more of a control of this area now with the help of his teammates. The next thing that they're gunning for is the mid lane tower that is currently full, but with their pushing capabilities, they can take it down.
They have to be careful, by the way. Dizzying is smoked up. Navi also smoked up here. And who can they catch? Catching the faces, it's kind of going to be the pivotal target if they can get him. But luckily for them, Malik, he's still far from level 12, but he will be able to save them with the Soul Guardian. This is tier. Serious?
He found him. You said they need to find the faces void, and they did. He was in a good position at the start, but then he went onto the vision and he was just dead. Okay, Solar Guardian. I think the Dawnbreaker made a mistake there. Without the BKB, you're not surviving. Melojule though, he charges up and the epicenter is there. Things are just falling apart because Melojule, he found the opening, and there it is. He wasn't hyped up, but maybe he should have been. Roger dropping low. Melojule doesn't want to be going forward because they're losing their heroes as well. It is going to be a core and the support for 2 cores, but the tower is defended.
Overall, that favors Navi, right? You were able to get, like you said, the 2 cores, and you do lose Malk, but it's okay as well as Maldi. Maldi, by the way, he was able to stand the Seeds of Serenity, had a full magic wand, so he took a lot from Reable's time just to lose his life. Overall, the fantastic stuff by Melojule. This is why this guy is such a good mid laner on the Sand King. He should be picking it every game.
Yeah. Let's leave the sarcasm for the side for a second here. Just kidding, of course, we're gonna continue with that one. But yeah, it was a solid approach, but the tower will still probably fall. He used the scanner. They know where the face's void is, but he had a scan on them as well. The question is, did it clip them in the end there, or did it expire? I didn't see there for the timing, and there's the stun. It seems like it expired. You need to get into the Mystic first on Eiko. Oh, he was too late to take half of that damage, and because of it, his void is dead.
I mean, I like that he's going for the 4 staff. Like, you got 4 staff coming out from Seneca. Roger's going for the Glimmer Cave. It's going to help them a lot. And by the way, you remember that question about this Mystic Flare show? Clearly, that bug is not fixed because I didn't see it just now.
What? I saw it.
You did? I didn't see it on my screen. That's crazy. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's mine. But this is 2 deaths in a row for Dizzy. This guy has not had the best debut, right? Like, we're looking at him in the research. He still doesn't have a Wikipedia page. We're like, all right, he's gonna make his mark here. Game 1 punch not going so well. Now just died back to back on the faces, but still has, of course, plenty of time to leave his mark. And even in this game, rough situation to be in.
Hopefully he does bounce back. Of course, it's not easy when you get into super competitive environment immediately to show up. For now, as you mentioned, it's not going the greatest, and because of it, Navi are gonna be 1k gold ahead. Melojule, he is going over vision of this Hawk constantly, so considering, okay, now he's not alone, but I'm gonna say that Navi are not gonna be happy that they're not getting any kills in the bottom lane.
They need time for Shigesu. I mean, I was gonna say Shigesu needs time to like farm, but he already has the Battle Fury. He wants to get that BKB off, and once you have that, I was gonna say it's a good BKB game, but you're still up against Roar, Chronosphere, and Earth Splitter, so there's still plenty that would bother him. You have to get the BKB, but at the same time, it's not the best. It's a bit of an awkward situation here for Navi to deal with. What they can do is always sneak Roshan. That's all. Oh, Melju, nice jump.
That's a dead hero, though. The question is, do you get out? And the answer is you don't, Melju. That's why he wants the 4-step as well. And Danielle, he's dropping low in 3 seconds. Well, that's a long TP by some standards here, because Darkside do so much damage.
So much for the nice stun, but jumping, I mean, Elder is fairly durable. He's got he's got the infused raindrop, he's got the fluffy hat, he's got about three strength gains, so doesn't fall as fast as they want. And we were talking about, I just said Navi, they have good Roche lineup because you have Ursa and Darkside. They realized it. They just say, well, you got 2 people in, and they just died right next to Roshan. So a huge move by Darkside. They take the Aegis, they give it to probably the most supported hero, which is the Leshrac. Double life is so valuable for this hero because you come back and you're able to use expand your entire mana pool again with a full Pulse Nova.
I'm just loving the vision from Darkside. I feel like all of that was because of vision. They're keeping Hawks on the bottom lane. They have wards around the mid lane, and they even have that one on the top lane there in the next to the Roche pit. So they're kind of covering the entirety of the map where Navi want to hunt. So if you're not in a smoke and you're Navi, you're not really gonna get a kill.
And Navi right now taking a fight would be very risky. Like Aegis is too valuable. They do have, I think, the BKB coming out on Shigitsu. That's gonna be a big deal for them, but as we mentioned, there's a lot of control coming out from the other side anyway. And Melju, what are they going to go for here? Looks like they're just going to get going on for a warding mission, but that ward's probably scouted because they just had to walk through a dire ward to put it. So, and Navi in a better spot. Daniel, I think he's losing his life.
Yeah, this is it's just running the other way to create some space. His teammates don't die. The thing is that Soneko bought such an early gem, and I like the emphasis of the vision because Darkside are definitely ahead there. Their towers are not falling because Navi has no push, and if you continue to have this kind of vision, you can literally keep it until the end of the game if you don't make big mistakes.
I mean, I wonder if they spot that ward. Looks like, I mean, I think they would get it, but yeah, we only have one ward on the map for Navi's side. This vision problem is causing them. It's huge. You can't make plays with Navi, and you're already up against Aegis. You won't be able to be like, oh, let me get a smoke play up, but you can't see them. You can't do that. And Rehoboth is standing in the front. 3 minutes left for his Aegis time. We're gonna be able to take that tier 2 very easily. Navi, you have options. He actually fights it feels super risky right now for them. Up against Leshrac, if you lose a fight, he can just take out Rax even very early in the game.
EGB is still favoring Navi, even with everything happening currently on the map, which, to be honest, I feel like Navi are not in a good spot, in a bad one at that. Shigetsu is gonna be a problem once he gets a BKB and he can start out the fight, but there's so many BKB piercing disables, to be honest, and his enrage against the Chrono doesn't do nothing.
Yeah, it's like it just wastes the time, right? And you're not gonna be able to do so much. I mean, it keeps you alive, so that's nice, but you want to be able to get kills. It's still not that bad, right? 3,000 gold advantage is not the biggest deal. Although Shigetsu, I thought Revo might be going for him, but he decides not to at the end.
So last season, and every single time Shigetsu is playing from home, he's in a very dark room and his camera is positioned pretty weirdly, and now I can you can finally see his face. Handsome fella for sure, but you know, he looked kind of scary, you know, like you're telling scary stories on the campsite and you get the flashlight into your face. That's how it looked to me, but now we can see that this guy, you know, if his Dota career doesn't go well, he can still go into modeling.
I like how you say that, because for me, I'm watching it in game, so I don't see anyone's face. I just look at all the heroes. But you're like, oh, okay, this one. So are you gonna do that after this game? We're gonna be like, okay, this guy, he's a 10 out of 10 in looks. This guy, you know, 8 out of 10. You know, this guy's maybe you can stick to the pro career. Is that what we're gonna do or no?
No, because every Dota player is beautiful, and that's what I meant. You know? You see, Soneko, he's beautiful. Roger, I mean, that's just a handsome boy. Lizzie, no doubt about it. So we're not gonna be judging those. That would be not a nice thing to do. How can we give a 10 to someone and a 9 to someone else?
I mean, I don't know. There's one of them deserves a 10. Alright, it's fine. They're all very handsome people. Alright. And the Darkside looks like the Aegis, they have about a minute left for it. Maybe they want to take the tier 2 bomb. Sorry, tier 1 bomb still standing. I didn't realize that. But they smoked up, didn't find anything on the map. And bottom lane, though, this could be a fight.
Yeah, Yeah, Malik does have a BKB, so he's not the easiest one to kill. He's gonna be popping it immediately, running away. He knows there's a roar, so he needs to run. Fly, Malik. He has to use the Celestial Hammer. Now he literally wants to fly, but there's gonna be a roar that stops it there, and then he will easily be taken down. 9-second BKB, not enough to live. Actually, he's creating some time. No one is coming to help him.
Yeah, but I thought at one point, I think Melju was there. Yeah, Moses was like, oh, should I help him? But decided just to leave him to die. Malik, he saw the whip coming out on Blizzy. He's like, all right, he's going to cast me eventually. Try my ultimate. Didn't work out, unfortunately. It's faster than the TP scroll, so good move, but it made some space, but a lot of the tier 1 tower bit down. I guess you're okay with that if you're Navi. It's not the biggest deal. Well, Malik was pretty heavily farmed.
Yeah, definitely. And the 9-second BKB is gonna be kind of mad about that one. The Faceless Void is starting to catch up. You know, Ursa is ahead in terms of net worth, but when you look at the effectiveness of the Faceless Void, especially with the heroes that he has on his side, this Faceless Void, even with lower net worth, is gonna be scary.
Oh man, a war just planted by Navi gets removed completely. And again, we're down to, unless I'm wrong, I'm not seeing any Navi wars on the map. This is very tough situation to be in. Like, the 3,000 gold advantage is not so bad. It's the no vision on the map that could really be hurting Navi.
Yeah, I feel like they have to go for a smoke now during daytime. Once nighttime comes, if you have no vision, you can't even smoke. You can't do anything.
It's a painful situation, but Dawnbreaker is gonna have her ultimate in about 15 seconds. I think that's when you want to smoke. It's like, make sure you have the Dawnbreaker available. And here's the thing: do you send Shigetsu first? Because you want Melajul to be behind, and Malik can't join. It has to be Shigetsu. Maybe that situation.
Maybe you jump in with Melajul first. Shigetsu jumps in, Melajul goes out, and then second initiation of the Sand King is when you fight with the epicenter. That could be the way, but Shigetsu has to be there, and he is letting the charge with the blink. He goes in onto Blizzy with the sign, but they have the force left to get him away. Still Shigetsu with the BKB and the ulti. So Neiko, yes, you will be next, because this bear not gonna be going into hibernation, not gonna be going into sleep. He is going to feed onto Darkside. It's gonna be 2 nice kills, but the problem is Roche is not up.
I like what she gets using the BKB and then rage, saying like, I don't want to be, you know, like call God with a chrono and say, I feel like this is something that, you know, the really good pros do, is they say, I don't mind using my resources to secure a small advantage. It's worth it for them. And now that they're able to get two kills, they might be able to get the mid-tier 1 as well, opening up the map, which they need on Navi desperately. They just do not have any vision on the map. And look at that, even their own triangles warded.
They can't do it. They can't do it. This tower not falling is a big problem. If it doesn't fall before the Roche spawns, the second Roche could be going towards Darkside, and that is a huge hit for the Ursa.
By the way, does he have a gym? I thought Melody queue up a gym, but I don't know if he dropped or just didn't buy it in the end. So that would have helped them out a little bit. They do need to get those wards out of Darkside's, like all of the vision back in their hands. And now they do have 1 cliff ward. Sorry, I didn't see that one. My bad.
No, they saw Daniel there in the tower.
Nico.
Okay.
Dude, look at
goodbye
that.
wards.
Oh, this is painful to see, man. It's painful to see. Oh, no, that Navi can see it because they don't have vision anywhere.
Navi fans right now, they're not gonna be too happy. Of course, everyone was spamming. Navi was back because they dropped down to Division 2, but guess what? They're back in Division 1. The thing is, though, they might lose this game number 2 and be forced into a decider, which they would not be happy with. They'd much rather win this one with the 2-0. Currently, it's not looking like it's gonna be an easy way to do so.
No, not at all. I mean, it's still not that bad. Like we talked about, it's like it's still only 3,000 gold advantage. And Navi late game, they do scale fairly well, right? So you have Dawnbreaker, you have the Ursa. It's still, but it's Faceless Void, right? Like Chronosphere is the base. What did you say? It's like one of the best teamfight ultimates. Maybe Black Hole and RP a bit better, but it's certainly one of the very best. And it feels like even when the Navi 6 launch is going to be 50-50 all the way to the end. Oh, here we go.
Faceless Void, 4-staff will keep him alive. He's gonna be fine. He still has the BKB. He might continue to chase here. Darkside, they're going in. Malik might need to pop your BKB. He's gonna go with the shard there, and he will get himself out. Sharpshooter Roger, he is charging it up. He's not gonna be connecting onto anyone. Going up the high ground, very dangerous. But Navi, actually Darkside, they want to go in. Shigetsu makes his presence known, and Malik gets himself to the low ground. No BKBs used, no big spells used.
Yeah, apart from Mystic Flare's only ultimate was, and that's fine. It's like we don't mind using that one. In the end, Navi they almost bring down Dizzying. It feels like they committed a little bit more, but you also are up against the 4 stabs coming out from the supports, which is very risky for them. Most supports, Nico and Roger have it. I love this. We talked about this, saying that this was one of the big reasons that the game was so one-sided, because the supports were playing like cores. First item Agam Scepter. This game, not so much. Double 4 staff, huge, especially against the Skyrite Mage.
So Dizzying is gonna be continuing to farm. He's going for a Skadi. Interesting choice. I guess stats, survivability, is that the thing he's going for?
Sorry, you metallicized for a little bit.
Okay, so the Skadi on the face is void. Does he just want survivability? Is this gonna give him any kind of... Yeah, okay.
I mean, then you're also up against, like, anyone you hit who's tethered to your would reduce their regeneration a little bit. So that's nice as well.
Okay. See if that can help Darkside. They're coming over. They're coming from an angle that Navi... Okay, seems like they expected. So they're going to be going onto the side, blaming the other high grounds, Darkside. First, they're going to be getting rid of the vision again. You are blind, Navi. They are very, very mad about this. They don't see anything.
They consider just jumping anyway. It feels like you have a 1-game lead, but you don't want to throw it by making a bad call. It's just so damn tough. I mean, even their sentries get removed, and sentry is removed, an observer placed there, and Roshan is up. So Navi, can you contest this? Do they have a smoke available on anyone? They have smokes as well.
This is very bad. This is very bad. The second Roche is being taken away from an Ursa lineup, and Navi, they're not even considering coming over. They can't. They're blind. They can't do anything in nighttime. It's impossible for them to even approach it. So Faceless Void, he's gonna have a double life. He's gonna have a shard as well. This has just become so much tougher for Navi, and I feel like Darkside are in full control.
The nice thing that you can say is that they do have a backshot Shigetsu, so a BKB isn't the biggest problem for them. They still have ways to deal with. Like, if you get a couple of stun off, even if you make BKBs after, you can still bash him and get the kill. So it's not the biggest problem in the world. But at the same time, though, the Darkside is very much in a controlling position right now.
The biggest downside of Navi, their inability to take down towers, to group up and take him down, has been something that Darkside have exploited so much in this game. Though I have to say, both teams are moving quite well around the map, though a little bit slower for my taste. So that's why Navi, they aren't really creating any chaos that's forcing Darkside into mistakes.
I know what you mean. It's like but then again, they don't really have a hero. I mean, besides the Sandy would be very suitable for it, right? You just go in, you use a burst strike, you get a couple of toxic finales, you can just blink out and be safe. But it's not like the same with the Puck, or Storm Spirit. You can show up, push out a lane instantly, and cause problems. Oh, he's alone.
He might actually go down here once. Does have the Aegis, but look at the position of this team. And now they're gonna know, because the creeps are gonna be revealing that actually they're in the smoke. They're coming over to save him. No, he turns back down. He jumps in again. I have baited you all in with that Chrono. He's not gonna be waiting for the Earth Splitter to crush them all. Actually, now they survived with this one. That's a Chrono uses. Now they have a BKB, but they do have a 4 staff to keep him alive. Not for long. Smashing him to the ground. And Navi is back. They're taking everything back in this fight. Let's see, the Lich is the only core that is live, and fighting against the bear is not a smart thing to do. So he's running himself away. But is that gonna be allowed? The Solar Guardian, there she gets to. They want to give him some help, and with the stuns and the damage, they're gonna do exactly that. Destroying 3 cores of Darkside. And Dizzying just makes a crucial mistake that gives the game back to Navi.
He was showing himself, and there was no one there. I mean, obviously, if you're Navi, you're thinking, oh, everyone's gonna be behind him, but they just jump, they get a kill. They're like, okay, let's just try it again, see what the hell happens. And Darkside, they just completely. We talked about, we saw bottom lane being pushed out, and since like that's like, all right, let's go defend it. 4 people leave. They leave Dizzying by himself in that situation, and he's gonna need like 15 Scotties to survive what just happened to him. Very unfortunate situation. Darkside, they were in the lead. They had complete control of the game in that situation. Wards, none for Navi. Aegis in their hands, as well as the shard. And just one blunder. Honestly, you can't count anything else other than blunder in that situation.
He actually was out. He could have just ran away.
Yes.
But he got back in. Like, yeah, I'm gonna Chrono them. I baited him in. He overestimated his damage and how close his team was. And he just ended up a total disaster.
夜眼上
It's
塔
like
正
it's
受
like
到
they
攻
they
击
think I hear no bell. I'm going to back into this fight. It's like no, that's maybe you should have just called quits when you could. So really unfortunate now. Darkside, I mean, still fine for them. You know, they still can skate late game. They have faces void. They have electric. They're okay going late, but they had the advantage, man. They had everything was in their hands.
Definitely, that was the case. And now the Ursa has an Aghanim Scepter, so inside of a Chrono, you cannot kill him. You can remove your Roar. You're not really equipped to deal with them, and every 18 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So you literally have this ulti all the time.
Yep, and of course he also got the shard as well, so he's going to be walking around, you know, earth shocking all the time. So he's also always going to have that as well, and he's going to go for the alright, she gets it. Okay, there you go, just enrages, and he's just fine.
Yeah, and in a couple of seconds he's gonna have it again. Sharpshooter being used. That's a low cooldown as well, not as low as the Enrage. And 13-9, 3k gold lead for Navi, who they turned the game on its head there with just one small mistake from Darkside, who wanted more, and they end up just paying the price.
And now you're looking at it and you think, well, what exactly is Darkside's plan here? Blizzy's gonna go for the blink tag. That's gonna help him get the catch on a couple of people. But you just mentioned, like, it's not worth it to go on Shigetsu. Shigetsu, yeah, very crafty. Like, he jumps in, straight away jumps in. I feel like that we've seen the big difference between Shigetsu and Dizzy in this series. Is that Shigetsu is a lot more cautious, but he knows when to be a little bit more, but when to like put his foot on the gas and be very aggressive as well.
The thing about Darkside, they don't care if they don't have a lot of wards in the map, because they're always gonna have a Hawk. Now it's daytime, so they're trying to make a play. They want to be the ones going in, but it's gonna be a smoke onto smoke action. The Sand King isn't here. He does have the boots of travel. He can join the fight anytime. Ravel, you don't want to be there all alone, and you're gonna die alone. He needs one more hit, and we'll be getting that one. Malik comes over just to secure it, but before it, Shigetsu does take him down. So there's gonna be another kill here for Navi, and Darkside, they don't respond with anything.
By the way, check out what Melajul has. He's got both a quickening charm as well as an Octarine core. And he might go for the level 10. I don't know if he's going to go for burst strike cooldown, but he's going to be having a burst strike up almost every 9 seconds if he takes it. I think a tiny bit less than that as well. So that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of stuns coming out just from the Sand King.
Definitely. A huge amount of those. Navi, they're aware of their inability to push high ground, but Ursa might finally get his hands on the Roche and get the extra life there, considering that now it is Navi who are controlling the majority of the map, and the Roche can spawn in 2 minutes.
We still don't know anything. Looks like Navi, though, they get what they want from the map, right? They take a little bit of map control. And Darkside, you talked about the Hawk, but you're not gonna have a Hawk in every area of the map. And you might have a Hawk, but you have a Dawnbreaker on the other side who can show up. You know, that's a little bit. That's got validated. Roger, he's very aggressive. He really wants to get out Shigetsu.
Yeah, he caught him. He shot him. And he did almost no significant damage to the Ursa, who is now just mad and strong. So I would get away from that there if I was Darkside. He didn't get away, and now the floor guard Ursa is taking no damage, though he didn't use the enrage, so maybe he can be taken down. The Splitter does a ton of damage. They're trying to kill the sword with the Bastion. They're going to be able to, but the Abyssal Blade needs a Bastion. He's not going to be getting it, but the epicenter is there. You've jumped right into it, and you have the silence. You have no way of getting up to that one. Let's see if the Titan Sliver will be giving him the status resistance necessary, and it does. This thing does get himself away because the silence doesn't last as long. Still, the Ursa is super fine. Continue to go forward with one buyback. You're probably not going to be doing anything there. It doesn't stop the DP, and Navi, they get themselves out, though they did lose 2 heroes, but in the end the fight is still theirs.
No, a massive win for them. It was a dieback on Roger, and Saniko was also forced to use his buyback, so the economy for the supports on Darkside takes a bit of a hit here. Not too bad, at least, for the Hoodwink, but he still has decent amount of global. He is an awkward position, and this was without Meld using the neck or the Holy Lock. If he did, I don't think Reaper would have even brought him down. Dawnbreaker lost his life. Malik was like, it's fine, no big deal for him. And by the way, we saw again that Dizzy did not use his BKB inside the Chrono, and he got hit by a Starbreaker. If he could have BKB'd, like, he might have been able to get a bit more out of the Chronosphere and not put himself in a tough situation after that.
I feel like Darkside even got lucky there with the Bastions. Yes. If the Dawnbreaker got her spells off, I mean, you just lose that fight heavily if you're Darkside. Not like you already didn't, but it would have been even worse.
And check out Daniel. He's getting pretty close to the Aghanim Scepter, so that's double the value of all of his spells. I mean, I like it. What do you feel like about like Scarlet Mage as a hero in general? You a big fan of this guy?
I wasn't a big fan of him when every single game I saw a Lotus Orb, Guardian Greaves, or a 4-step. Now, when all of those items did get nerfed slightly, I feel like the hero in itself is in a good spot, just the meta didn't favor him. Now I think he's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I like that. He's also got a point in. He's also got the ceremonial rope, so he's going to be able to do a little bit more with like stats distance going to be lowered, as well as the magic damage, which is pretty helpful for the Sand King, who's getting very close to overwhelming play. I say very close, but then I look at the recipe, it's like 1,700 gold, and the Reaver, it's just so damn expensive. These link upgrades are a bit much, if you ask me. I think Icefrog could tune them a little bit in the gold department, maybe.
I like how, you know, Navi, when you look at them, Sand King, Dawnbreaker, Ursa, you don't really say, like, yeah, there's late game scaling potential, but
Yeah.
Sand King and the Dawnbreaker don't have to be strong in the late game. But the way that they itemize, like literally spreading it, okay, you're doing physical damage, I'm doing magical damage, I'm just gonna be stunning and getting out and stuff like that. It just makes sense.
You have to be careful here.
Stop, he's been roared, he doesn't have his ulti, he's gone. Slaughter Guardian a little bit too late, and the relocate as well. That's a big mistake from Shigetsu, and now Malik all alone, he's gonna be bashed to death for sure. He's trying to run away, but being slowed down, being smashed up, he's gone. There's 2 heroes dead just like that, and the Wisp will be a 3rd one.
Unfortunate, he just got bashed while he was doing his Starbreaker, and that's gonna be 3 people down. Melajul already immediately goes top, pushes the lane in. That's nice. And unfortunately, though, Darkside is gonna find Roshan's gonna be up in about 1 second. They have vision of him, they see him, and there you go. Roshan's up. It's gonna be the Aghanim Scepter upgrade for him as well. So that is not what you were hoping for. I think for Navi, control swings right to the other side, and Darkside is gonna be able to walk and get this Roche. Who are they going to give the Aghanim Scepter to? I still think Beastmaster's Drums of Slum is amazing, but he's like, I'm the only one that can.
Yeah, probably the only one. This Roche is going to be going down. Soneko, does he have an Aghanim? No, he does not, so give it to Soneko. Come on, yep, let's go. He's going to have the magic immunity, and this Elder Titan will be packing a punch.
Come on, Drums of Slum, it's so good. It even got buffed in this patch, by the way. It does 5 damage more than previous. It used to be 110, now it's 115. So, well. I guess only I know how broken it is. Not the
Yeah, only you.
Only me.
If you were in a pub and you had an Elder Titan and you were a Beastmaster and you take that one, I am feeling like a lot of your team is destroying their items.
It's so good. It's just you're right, probably. But Roger, sorry, Soneko, he's gonna have that free BKB coming out now. Very helpful against the Sand King, against the Scarlet Mage, even some of the Dawnbreakers. Like all of her spells are magic. Anything besides Starbreakers also can be nullified. So good thing for him to have.
Let's see the Elder Titan. AC?
Yeah, AC, right? He's turning it. He's going to go right click.
Speaking of AC, the Dawnbreaker just finished hers. I feel like Shigetsu, the only way that Navi are losing the fights when he's the one that is being gone on first is if he makes a big blunder, and that's exactly what happened earlier.
Yeah.
So he needs to be very careful that at least he's close to his teammates, and if he does make a blunder, immediately call out for the relocate to happen instantly and not when you're getting low.
They need Lotus Orbs as well on the support. So unfortunately, it's like neither Skyrat nor Io really want to make it. You know, Io usually get into items like he's gonna go for the Glimmer Cave, want to get a heart after. Like Lotus Orb is not a big item on the Io shopping list. Skyrat makes aggressive support, only wants to get damage items as well. So what is his goal? Did he die? He was going for the Aghanim Scepter. You see that?
No, I'm seeing Dizzying here crushing everything with his team being behind him. Sand King does have the overwhelming blink. He has a buyback tool. Speaking of, 3 buybacks on Navi and only 2 on Darkside. The Darkside are the ones that are in front of the enemy base, so it's not like they're gonna be buying back. Anyway, the Hex comes out, and that's gonna be that's gonna be actually the Ascetic's cap saves him, and he's gonna be fine. Ooh, it looked like he was done for, and Ursa jumps in. They wanna kill this thing. It's not gonna be enough. Ooh, Shigetsu got scared for a second.
I think you're still okay with this if you're Navi. You are able to get the enemy wards here, and you do force Darkside back. And they want to go for more. They smoked up Belgius. He's hungry for a kill.
And he's gonna be fine again. This Sketix Cap is gonna be making sure that the stun doesn't last for long. But look at the Starbreaker. Dizzy does pop the BKB, and he's gonna start smashing with the Earth Splitter. They'll get the kill. Dizzy though needs to run away. Sapiegas doesn't want to be losing it, does he? The stun comes through. Dizzy is still alive, and the Hex is there. They want to be killing Melojul, and they're gonna be able to do this. You have no status resistance like your supports, so the Hex is gonna be a big issue for him. They've taken down the Aegis. They've taken down the Elder Titan, but in the end, they're gonna be losing 2 cores to be exact. Daniel is gone as well.
They have buybacks on 2 of their heroes, but Navi definitely on the ropes now. Maldi, very unfortunate situation. The Chronosphere prevents him from tethering and saving the Dawnbreaker, and then he had to go like this really long route to try to reach Melojul. Didn't happen as well. So now Navi buyback might need to be expanded. They are going to be using Daniel as well. Are they going to go for more here? Melojul, he's kind of your best base defender right now.
You needed to use a buyback there. Level 25 left. He's gonna rip your base apart, especially with the Beastmaster units behind him. So you really need to be careful. Faces Void. He doesn't have the Titan Sliver any longer, but he does have this SNY. So status resistance is still there.
Yeah, it's helpful enough. Which Bane as well. Well, Navi, they don't get too. They get punished, but it's not like they lost any buildings. You know, that was just a buyback used on the position for Skyrim Mage. Just not a big deal, but Darkside, 13,000 gold advantage. That's huge. And you are the one with the Faceless Void. They have to make sure the Faceless Void is out first because he just disrupts Maldi way too much in these fights. You can't get the saves off. You can't get your heals off. You got to get rid of him so that the IO can actually have a game.
It's a bit tougher to do so. He has 3k HP with status resistance as well. But we saw when Shigetsu jumps him, if he gets another stun or some kind of damage, yeah, this Faceless Void can die. It's still anybody's game, though Darkside obviously ahead.
I mean, he's durable, but the Ursa has the most farms here on the map. He can shred anyone in 2 seconds. So this 13k gold advantage is nice, but it by no means puts the game like completely in Darkside hands. Navi still has a good chance.
Back comes out during the Starbreaker. They need more to commit with it. Shigetsu's going in. He wants to kill Soneko. He will be able to do so, but you have put yourself in an uncomfortable position. So has the ulti and the BKB. Now he's going to be using the ulti, and he has been relocated out. He said, I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a bad spot. Malady, save me. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Are they going to be saving Malady, though? Looks like they're kind of... Well, he's going to be left to the wolves. Sad. Just watching him die like that.
Seeing is level 25 as well. So with the backtrack, it is now debatable if the Ursa can actually jump in and kill you. Even with that little bit of health, it might not be enough.
I feel like it's still gonna be fine, but you're right. The backtrack adds so much. You nullifies damage completely. That is. I mean, the bigger AoE sometimes feels like a trap. You catch more people than you were planning for. Oh, they're going for a dire scan. They see this though, so they know, and Dizzying, wisely goes back. So nice scan coming out here from the dire side.
Melojul needs to be careful. Dust not going to be connecting there. If it did clip him, he wouldn't be able to blink away. So what did he take on level 25 on the Sand King?
They took the Sandstorm Slow and Blind, which I like. The blind is very valuable compared to 5 epicenter pulses that could just be blocked completely by BKB. Just became Melojul though. He is quite brave, I must say.
Faceless Void without the BKB, he can't really fight inside of that one. He's not going to be doing any damage. We talked about backtrack, that's 20%, but this is 40% miss and slow. Good thing for the Faceless Void, he can't get himself away from it.
Melojul, my god, he is in such a scary situation. Oh, here we go. This is it.
Aeon Disc protecting Roger, so Roger will be fine. Now jumping in, they found Melojul. You talked about scary situations, still in one, but not for long. The Wisp will be saving him, but putting himself in harm's way because of it.
He does have the Trickster Slow. Might be able to make it out alive, but he use it.
Well, let's see. Yeah, that wasn't even close there. Daniel, slow down, he turns around to fight and quickly understands that he is helpless to do anything. Dropping it on the Faceless Void, the fourth after the low ground, immediately comes back in, and there's the Chrono. The Ursa might not be taking damage, but the rest of them will. With the epicenter is slowing down the damage a little bit, not enough. And now you're alone, everything else. He doesn't care. He's still gonna fight, but he will be tamed by the Beastmaster, and it's gonna be a triple kill for Rabel. By the looks of it, we're going to game 3.
团全
And
力
buybacks
加
are
入。
used on Navi. They still believe that they have a chance. And Milajul, with the Sandstorm, he is able to defend the base. So Darkside, are they going to commit for this? I mean, looks like Rabel, yeah, just standing there. He already has the extra 25 diabolic healing explosion, so he's not too worried about it. They still have a ton of magic damage. Sorry, that's a ton of
天辉
structure
下
damage they can
塔
just
正
use.
受到攻击，
Navi, what are you going to do? Are you really going to be able to fight this? No ultimates available for either the Eye or the Sandspink.
Let's see. When they're gonna have those in 30 seconds, the epicenter will be ready. Chrono in 90. There are gonna be ultis. Okay, he uses the refresher, faces void. He has everything he needs. He's a little bit low on mana, but just enough. Okay, there it is. His mana has been replenished.
天辉下塔
Do
已
they
被
jump on him? I mean, they're gonna wait. Looks like Navi, they're okay. I mean, they're losing one rate of fractions. Not the biggest deal. Nice move by Roger, going very deep, putting both putting the ward there. They even have a hawk by Blizzy. So Navi, they pick it out. They're like, guys, I think they got something there. So let's just try to avoid the area. They definitely need to de-ward this if they want to defend their base.
It's gonna be a very long game. Southeast Asia was the region with the longest games, but Eastern
Yes.
Europe was following closely behind it. So, you know, this is somewhat to be expected here, that we're gonna have long games and some really nice team fights happening, especially in this game number 2. But it does seem like Darkside are in such a commanding position. The 4th Roche is up. They have everything inside of it, and Navi, they're gonna have to fight for this one without any buybacks.
Southeast Asia, I think this year we actually had the longest game without first blood. We had like 22 minutes, nobody died, so that was fun. I think it was Talon versus Blacklist. But this game, massive advantage for Darkside. Even though the kill wouldn't let you think that, right? So like 4 kills extra. But Roshan, this is going to be with the refresher shot. It's going to be, you probably want to give it maybe to the left track just because you already have refresher orb on the face of Void. And of course another Agnes Blessing and Cheese and Aegis. Navi, they are in a near impossible situation. What's the win percentage? Still 7? I thought it'd be 1.
So Aghanim Scepter on the Faceless Void. For people who don't know, when he jumps in, he bashes everyone around him. So it's very annoying to deal with, especially when he has a shard, when he can jump in and out. And guess what? He does. So once you get into a mistake, he bashes you, he stops all of your blink daggers, all of your abilities to move. He gets a nice chrono off, and then it's chaos.
Not as good as Drums of Slum, but it's still very powerful as well. An AoE stun is really good to have. And it's like oh, here we go.
Yeah, Melville goes in with a stun. He has to slow this one down because this thing has a DD. The push is so fast. They're gonna get the roar. They need to save this hero right now. They're not gonna be saving everyone with the Chrono. We'll get an easy kill. And this thing is continuing to smash on her. There's a buyback in the backline. She gets to. He does have a nullify. He get the kill. On this, they don't work any longer. They still have 2 laser racks. Might be enough. Are you a bit deep, Rabel, or are you exactly where you want to be now? In the face of your opponent, you get the turn down, trying to find the life kill will not help you now. An ultra kill for Dizzy. That's a good way to start, and Rabel will steal away his rampage. Don't get ahead of yourself, kid, but we are going to game 3.
获胜。
Very impressive defense coming out from Navi, but not enough at Darkside. Got to game 2. The way they played it looked so good. I especially like what they